Hello guys, this is it. This is the build that made me fall back in love with Heal Scrapper. I was playing Minstrel Heal Support Scrapper for quite a long time. Got right into it, really enjoyed playing it. But I got bored of running around and pressing like 1 all the time. I guess I just wanted something with a bit more meat on the bone, you know. And I think after playing Paragon for quite a while, and then getting in, because I started with the Rifle Roamer Paragon, then I got into the Heal Support Paragon with the Staff and Spear, and that was mainly Power, Precision, Ferocity, and Healing Power, and it felt great. So I thought to myself, why the fuck can't I do this with Scrapper? And so I fucking did. And I've just absolutely fallen back in love with Scrapper in World v World all over again. And all it took for me was to replace all of my concentration with Power, Precision, and Ferocity. So let's have a look at the gear. So all of my armour is Zealots. So Power, Precision, and Healing Power with Precision and Superior Runes of Mercy. I'm just using Runes of Mercy because they're cheap, frankly, and they get a lot of toughness and a lot of healing. Superior Rune of the Druid looks like a very good option for this as well, because it gives you a bit more vitality rather than toughness, and it's got lots of healing on that, so I might swap over to that at some point. But these were really cheap for me to just throw this build together, like so. I think they were like seven silver each, so absolute pence. I'm running short bow. With Power, Toughness, Ferocity, Healing Power. I believe that is Commander. No, it's not Commander. It's Crusader. It began with a C and it's got the same number of syllables. I can be forgiven. I forgive myself. And I'm running Superior Sigil of Life and Accuracy on there. Could use Transference if you want, because this is essentially a healer build. And I've got quite a few healing infusions sprinkled around inside my Precision ones. They're not dancing to any particular tune, frankly. More Crusader gear on the back and trinkets. So originally this was all Crusader and Zealot, and my HP was quite low, so I chucked in a couple of defensive trinkets here and here. Arguably, if you do run Druid's Runes, you'll get a little bit more HP from them. I'm not sure if you'll get as much as this, though. But anyway, this just gets me up to a comfortable level. And it's still quite low, right? We've got really high armor. That's great toughness for making the most of healing power. But we don't need to worry about that too much because we've got loads of barrier. And that's what this build does really well. Because we've got no concentration. I think we've got 5% that's just from the alchemy trait line. But because we've got no concentration, we're not really focusing on boons too heavily, and we're not going to try and rely too much on giving out boons. But what does healing power do really well? Because we've got 1,000 here. Healing power does barrier. So if we can focus on doing damage, healing, barrier, we're golden. We're absolutely golden. Now, this is only 1,000, but by the time we're fully buffed up, that should be sitting around 1,500. I'll show you how we get that. In the end, and when we're fully buffed up, our power will be over 3k as well with might and all that razzmatazz. I'll show you how we get that too. Right, so that's the gear. Relic of the Flock, because this is just all about doing healing and barrier. That's a great one. It feels really good to use it, and if you just use your heal skill arbitrarily, if everyone's pretty well topped up, that just gives everyone barrier, just gives them that bit more resilience. In team fights, it's really good. Arguably, Caracosa. Is it Caracosa? There it is, Caracosa. I was right. Arguably that, with the amount of blast finishes this build has got, you might get more healing out of it with that. But really, I was theming this round just group barrier, because that's the kind of person I am. So let's look at the traits. Traits. So in alchemy, we're running health insurance because we're a healer and we're using medkit. We get to quaff an elixir C and an elixir B every now and then. Taking boiling points so we can give ourselves fury, and we get plenty of might, so that should be a pretty much 100% uptime of fury. You could take combat cure as a healer, but it's 1 second of regen per condition removed. Compounding chemicals just gives us a bit more self-sustain. A tiny bit of concentration almost goes to waste there. I think that's the only thing in this whole build that does go to waste. I think everything else has synergy other than that 75 concentration. Now, equal and opposite reaction is great for self-stability and quickness, just making you do all your actions quicker, heal people quicker, and just be a bit harder to move. However, if you've got loads of stability in your team fight, drop it over to chain reactivity, and you'll be able to put out even more barrier to your team. But for small fights, and if you're just solo making your way to a Zerg, if you are, you know, still trying to avoid roamers, that can help you get out of a pickle. In inventions, ally ward, not bad, because we are using short bow. Do get protection here and protection on reconstruction enclosure, but I don't really provide too much protection, and I'm not going crazy on doing as much as possible. So automated medical response is good enough for me. It's a nice long regen, and I want long regen because look, it gives me 250 healing power and 250 power. That's a really good stat boost. So I want as much regen as I can get without, you know, without forcing too much in. I don't want to shoehorn too much regen in at the cost of other good stuff. But we do get protection when we use a healing skill, and we get a Condi cleanse when we use it as well. Soothing detonations. Every time we use a tool belt skill, we do a little AoE heal. And because we've got medkit, our healing skill is actually on the toolbar. So our tool belt skill for healing actually gets buffed up quite a bit in this build. We'll go over the totality of it in a bit. So yeah, energy amplifier, that's where that regeneration comes in useful. Now, if we were running a lot of protection, anti-corrosion plating would probably be the obvious pick. But we're not. So medical dispersion field gives us a 7% conversion on our personal healing every 3 seconds to allies around us, which is just great for a healing build and great for team fights. Scrapper, obviously we get our function gyro. Now, this is where I play this a bit differently to how I would normally play it. This is different to how I'd play it with DPS. This is different how I would play it with a pure support healer. System Shocker gives us a daze, and Ex Machina gives us ammo on our gyro. So now our gyro does CC, and when we hit enemy with CC, we do AoE barrier to allies around us, which is going to start pumping out a lot of barrier. Not like a disgusting amount, but it's just going to keep ticking. We do a bit of super speed for ourselves, which is fine, but we can blast. We can give ourselves super speed with Essence of Borrowed Time, and we can blast our lightning fields for swiftness anyway. Now, object in motion, normally these are two of the picks for a healer build, but object in motion, because we've got loads of power and a bit of precision, we can do extra damage, which is nice. And we are giving ourselves swiftness, we are giving ourselves stability, and we are giving ourselves super speed, so they're all going to be ticking over at some point. Impact saving is good for that self-sustain as well. We've got all those little heals trickling in, and this just puts that barrier up just to make that healing a bit more efficient. And not only does it give us ammo too, it also gives us a 2k barrier AoE whenever we use it, which is fabulous and just helps that barrier stack up. So let's go through our skills, and we can talk about how that all gets affected. But I tell you what, before that, what have I been eating? I've been eating holographic super cakes just for that tick heal and a bit of endurance, because I don't have too much vigor, and superior sharpening stones just to give me a bit more power. And man, I need to clear out that inventory. That's disgusting. So what have we got? Woo! What do we have? We've got swords. We have got short bow. So we've got a bit of poke damage on the auto attack. It's not a lot, but we are going to be able to do a little bit of poke damage and do some vulnerability, which is going to help other people do more damage. Now this is a good one for barrier and might. Essence of Liquid Wrath, however, is a fire field. This gives us protection, aegis, and resolution when we chain it. It's a fire field, so what's really good is to drop this, then Essence of Animated Sand into it, gives us might from blasting a fire field, gives us might from the effect, and then we get a chain reaction by dropping Essence of Borrowed Time onto it, which is also a blast, which gives us AoE might from blasting the fire field, and the chain reaction there. It does a daze, it gives us stability and quickness because of our alchemy traits, and then we can drop Essence of Living Shadow on that to do another CC with a chain reaction daze, and it just keeps going. I love this. This is an amazing kit. It's a great supportive kit. It's going to be doing lots of heals. It's going to be doing barrier. It's going to be doing CC, providing us with stability and quickness. So that's a win all round. Our tool belts gives us 2 stun breaks. They're pretty. They're basically just stun breaks, frankly. Often you find yourself using skills that have stun break and they're useful for other stuff, and sometimes you can find yourself using them and then not saving them for when you need a stun break. These 2, however, are as good as just using them as stun breaks and nothing else. Sometimes I like to pop smoke when I'm stomping. If I don't have stability, it's a good one just to make sure you get someone down. Or when they're down, get them out. So our function gyro, this is great now. So it does 2k barrier, it does damage, it is a lightning field so we can blast it. Because it's a CC, the CC will do another bunch of barrier as well on top of that. Now our bandage self, this does a lot now. So it does nearly 6k healing. I tell you what, let's give ourselves regen. Over 6k of healing. It grants AoE regen. It grants AoE super speed. Myself super speed. It cleanses a condition. It provides protection for a few seconds. God, I'm running out of breath. God, it does everything. And not only does it do all that, it does an additional 2.5k healing. So let's give ourselves that again. So it does an additional 2.7k healing to everyone around and turns that into barrier if it overheals. That's fantastic. That is a lot. There's a lot going on up here. This for me is a fantastic tool belt. Now our utilities, got onto that one. I'm using Shredder Gyro, Flamethrower, Elixir Gun, Mortar Kit. This is quite kit intensive. It's 4 kits. I could quite have easily gone for a 5th kit, but just for simplicity. Originally I was running this with Shredder and Blast Gyro, or sometimes Bulwark and Blast Gyro. But this for me just feels so good, being able to just shit out so much like damage, so much poke damage just in the middle of a Zerg, and just switch these on and then just concentrate on support whilst the Shredder Gyro is going, whilst the spare capacitor is going. But because this is a CC, not only does it do good damage, it also provides barrier for your team. Shredder Gyro just does what it says on the tin. It shreds. Because we're not traded for it, it's got a relatively small radius, 240. But when you're in the thick of it, it's pretty decent. You might see me spuriously hit E accidentally because for a while this utility has been taken up with a stun break. So you might see that spuriously go off every now and then. Flamethrower, I've replaced. I replaced Blast Gyro with Flamethrower because I can blast it for might and it's got CC in it. So that's more barrier. That's more AoE might for our team. And Napalm is nasty. It's been nerfed over the years, but it's still nasty. If you can drop Spare Capacitor, Shredder Gyro, and Napalm, throw them all at once, you're doing a decent amount of damage, frankly, while still being able to support your team. And also, this is probably the best damage kit in this build. I think with short bow mortar kit that's not traded in explosives, I think this build needs a damage kit to be able to keep up its end of the bargain with power damage. Elixir Gun. This is where most of the Condi clear is going to come from. Do have Cleansing Field in Medkit, which is going to pull some AoE Condi clear. I'm not using Purge Gyro. I think Purge Gyro is kind of lost. I think it's lost itself. I think the actual AoE Condi cleanse is fairly weak, and the tool belt skill, it's a poison field. I don't feel like it has identity, frankly. But between Cleansing Field and Elixir Gun, I can do some good burst Condi clear with Super Elixir. Blast that for more Condi clear. Use Fumigate to remove conditions on myself and my team. And then whilst that Super Elixir's up, I can swap out and blast it with my short bow to do more Condi clears. And of course, Essence of Living Shadow removes conditions and additional ones when we... Elite Mortar Kit. This is a great kit for some great fields. Flash Shell and Elixir Shell are going to help team sustain with the blinds and the healing. Endothermic Shell is going to be good for slowing opponents down because speed and positioning is king, and Poison Shell is going to reduce the effectiveness of enemy healing. It's just a good kit. It's great for being able to stay at range and do some poke damage if it's too risky to get too close. Just remember when the projectile hate bubbles are up, try and drop the shells just outside of the bubbles, and then the blast will still affect inside the bubble, if you know what I mean, and then it's not getting bounced back at you. So those are the skills and how I intend to use them. We've been through the traits, we've been through the gear. The only thing that remains to be seen is how much I suck with this. So let's go into the mist. Whoop!
I owe you my life.
Another.
Running out of endurance.